The Mariana Trench was supposed to be understood. Nearly 11 kilometers of crushing pressure, freezing darkness, and geological violence where nothing complex could survive. Scientists had mapped it, categorized it, closed the book. Then China sent submersibles to the very bottom of the world and found something that changes everything. Not just new species, not just unexpected life. Evidence of entire ecosystems operating on principles science didn't know existed. Microbes with biochemistry that rewrites textbooks. Animals thriving at depths that should kill them instantly. Chemical processes that could reshape our understanding of how Earth regulates its climate. This isn't discovery. This is revolution. The Mariana Trench marks where the Pacific Plate collides with the Philippine Sea Plate in a 2,500 kilometers crescent of tectonic fury. Understanding it requires descending through Earth's ocean zones, each more hostile than the last. Surface to 200 meters, the epipelagic zone where sunlight penetrates and life flourishes. This is the familiar ocean, bright and teeming with schools of fish, kelp forests, and coral reefs. Below that, the mesopelagic twilight realm, to 1,000 meters, where light dies and bioluminescence begins. Here, creatures glow in the dimness, predators hunt by their own light, and the water grows colder with each meter of descent. Deeper, the bathypelagic zone to 4,000 meters, cold and lightless. Pressure increases dramatically, temperatures drop toward freezing, and only highly specialized organisms can survive. Then, the abyssopelagic expanse to 6,000 meters, where pressure becomes overwhelming, reaching levels that would crush human bones to powder instantly. Beyond 6,000 meters lies the Hadal zone, named for the underworld itself. Pressure surpasses 1,000 atmospheres. Temperatures approach freezing. Food is scarce. The Mariana Trench occupies the most extreme section of this hellish realm. Challenger. Deep, its lowest point, descends to 10,920 meters. Deep enough to submerge Mount Everest with 2 kilometers of water above its peak. At this depth, every square inch of surface area experiences forces equivalent to having 50 jumbo jets stacked on top of it. Getting there is an engineering nightmare. Pressure at that depth can implode most submersibles through hairline fractures invisible to the naked eye. A single microscopic flaw in a weld or seal means instant catastrophic failure. Every component must be built to withstand forces that would pulverize ordinary materials like they were tissue paper. Electronics require pressure sealing in specialized housings filled with incompressible fluids. Hulls demand spherical precision, as the sphere is the only shape that can distribute such tremendous pressure evenly. Radio communication fails entirely at these depths, necessitating specialized acoustic systems that use sound waves to transmit data through water. Darkness and near-freezing temperatures create additional obstacles, forcing the use of specialized lighting systems and materials that won't become brittle in the cold. Samples brought to the surface risk destruction from rapid depressurization, requiring carefully designed containment systems that can maintain pressure during ascent. Historical attempts were few and brief. Piccard and Walsh reached bottom in 1960 aboard Trieste, spending barely 20 minutes on the seafloor before returning. Their dive proved it was possible, but the technology was primitive and dangerous. Japan's Kaiko made repeated dives in the 1990s, advancing robotic exploration capabilities, but still limited to short sampling missions. Cameron descended solo in 2012 in his custom-built submersible, capturing stunning footage, but collecting minimal scientific data during his brief hours below. These missions touched the seafloor and left. None stayed long enough for systematic study. None could conduct the kind of prolonged, repeated observations necessary to understand what was really happening in the Hadal zone. China built the capability to change that. Throughout the 2010s and 2020s, China constructed a deep ocean research infrastructure, rivaling any on Earth. This wasn't a single project, but a coordinated national effort involving multiple institutions, billions in investment, and some of the country's top engineers and scientists. The Chinese Academy of Sciences created the Institute of Deep Sea Science and Engineering as the nerve center of this ambitious program. They deployed cutting-edge research vessels equipped with the most advanced positioning systems, winches capable of handling cables extending more than 11 kilometers, and onboard laboratories for immediate sample analysis. They built pressure simulation laboratories that could recreate Hadal conditions on the surface, allowing researchers to test equipment and study organisms without the expense and risk of deep dives. And they developed a fleet of increasingly capable submersibles, each generation pushing deeper and carrying more sophisticated instruments. Jiaolong proved China could conduct manned dives past 7,000 meters, establishing the foundation for deeper missions. Shanghai Yangshi expanded sample collection capabilities deeper, introducing robotic arms precise enough to collect delicate organisms without damaging them. Then came Fenduje, achieving full ocean depth capability with a pressure sphere made of titanium alloy capable of withstanding the crushing forces at Challenger Deep. Beginning in 2020, it completed multiple dives exceeding 10,000 meters as part of the Mariana Trench Environment and Ecology Research Program, a multi-year scientific initiative combining biology, geology, chemistry, and oceanography. Finally, sustained systematic study became possible. Scientists could return to the same locations, track changes over time, and build comprehensive pictures of Hadal ecosystems rather than relying on isolated snapshots. The findings shattered expectations immediately. Chinese researchers identified 7,564 new species-level microbial genomes from Hadal sediments in 2025. Nearly 90% had never been documented. This contradicted decades of assumptions about deep-sea biodiversity. Scientists expected sparse microbial life in such extreme conditions, reasoning that the combination of crushing pressure, near-freezing temperatures, perpetual darkness, and limited food sources would support only the most minimal communities. Instead, they found explosive genetic diversity with extraordinary adaptations that challenged fundamental understanding of biochemistry. Enzymes functioning under crushing pressure that would denature proteins in ordinary organisms. Novel membrane structures that remained fluid in near-freezing water under tremendous force. Metabolic pathways never seen before, including some that appear to violate previously understood limits of cellular energy production. Some species extract energy directly from geological processes in the sea floor, feeding on chemical gradients produced by Earth's interior heat and tectonic activity, potentially playing major roles in global carbon and methane cycling that climate scientists had never considered. The discovery at 9,500 meters redefined what scientists thought possible. Chemosynthetic animal communities thriving in absolute darkness. Not just bacteria, but complex multicellular organisms with nervous systems, circulatory systems, and specialized tissues. Tube worms extending meters in length, their bodies housing symbiotic bacteria that convert chemicals into usable energy. Bivalves clustered around seeps in the sediment, filtering microbes from the water. Sea cucumbers slowly crawling across the sea floor, processing sediment for organic matter. Isopods scavenging whatever scarce food drifts down from above. All surviving without sunlight, powered by chemical energy from methane and sulfur compounds seeping through sediments. Their existence indicates active geology releasing energy-rich fluids from Earth's interior, suggesting the boundary between the crust and mantle beneath the trench is far more dynamic than previously believed. Sediment chemistry revealed unusual gradients and extensive microbial activity around hydrocarbon concentrations. Chemical profiles showed distinct layers where different microbial communities dominated, each specialized for extracting energy from specific compounds. Evidence suggests the trench functions as a deep carbon sink, potentially affecting climate regulation in ways climate models don't account for. Organic carbon that sinks into Hadal trenches may be sequestered for geological timescales rather than recycling back into the ocean and atmosphere as current models assume. Biological surveys throughout descent zones revealed unexpectedly rich communities at every level. The Mariana snailfish, holding the record for the deepest fish ever filmed, adapted to pressures that would kill surface fish in seconds. Dense populations of Hirandelia gigas amphipods, small crustaceans that swarm over any food source that reaches Hadal depths. Diverse worms, sea cucumbers, and crustaceans adapted to pressures between 6,000 and 10,000 meters, each species showing unique physiological tricks for surviving extreme conditions. Ecosystems exist throughout the Hadal zone, growing stranger and more specialized with depth, creating a vertical gradient of increasingly alien life forms. The implications cascade across multiple fields. Life surviving at 11,000 meters proves organisms can endure pressures previously considered lethal, fundamentally expanding the boundaries of where life can exist. This expands the boundaries of Earth's biosphere and strengthens theories about life in high-pressure extraterrestrial oceans on moons like Europa or Enceladus, where subsurface seas exist beneath kilometers of ice under tremendous pressure. If life thrives in the Mariana Trench, similar conditions on icy moons become far more promising targets in the search for extraterrestrial life. The Hadal zone transforms from a passive organic matter graveyard to an active biochemical processor with global significance. Trenches may significantly influence long-term carbon storage and climate regulation, potentially sequestering more carbon than previously thought and affecting Earth's climate over geological timescales. Unique enzymes and metabolic pathways could inspire breakthroughs in medicine, particularly in developing drugs that remain stable under extreme conditions, industrial processes that require high-pressure catalysis, and synthetic biology applications that push the boundaries of engineered organisms. Deep-sea exploration is accelerating. China plans more frequent dives, expanded submersible fleets with enhanced capabilities, and permanent Hadal observatories that could monitor conditions continuously for years. Comparative studies across multiple trenches, including the Kermadec, Tonga, and Japan trenches, may reveal whether these ecosystems are unique or represent broader patterns across all Hadal zones worldwide. Robotic advances could enable autonomous year-long missions collecting data continuously without human operators, dramatically expanding the scope and scale of deep-sea research. Most of the trench remains unexplored. New species, biochemical processes, and geological phenomena await discovery in the vast stretches of Hadal seafloor that have never been visited. China's program demonstrates the deep ocean is a dynamic living system that challenges fundamental assumptions about Earth and life itself. The exploration has barely begun.